And you really get a sense in a lot of parts of Lake County of what California was like before it started being developed as heavily as it has been.
To imagine that we could be on possibly the oldest lake in North America, with the cleanest air in California and the third cleanest air in the United States.
Beautiful valley oaks and red soils, a lot of wildlife. It's stunning.
In the North Coast, it's one of the still very attractive, affordable places to go. It's mountainous and it's hillsides and it's gorgeous vistas. It's a beautiful place.
Lake County becomes the intersection of the two big mountain ranges of the North Coast, which is the Vaca Range, which runs east of Napa Valley, and the Mayacamas Range, which runs between Napa Valley and Sonoma Valley.
Where we're sitting right now, we're basically at the highest section of the Mayacamas Range. And the Mayacamas Range runs all the way from San Francisco Bay up into the coastal mountains beyond here, which is the coastal range of California. Mayacamas are famous for Cabernet. If you think of all the great Cabernets in California, they all come off of the flanks, the valleys, or the top of the Mayacamas Mountains.
We're standing right now on the top of the North Coast magma pocket. That bubble of magma is what formed Carneros 5 million years ago. It formed the Calistoga-Santa Elena region 3 million years ago, and it's forming Lake County right now.
It really is one based off volcano. I just think that's fantastic for the mineral content. I think that's fantastic for bringing that stress that some varietals need.
We've got an ideal situation, warm, dry, not a lot of pressure in terms of pests and what have you, and pristine soils. I mean, this is the stuff that people die for all up and down the Mayacamas.
You can be out here, it rains an inch or 2 inches an hour and still drive around. And what that tells you is that the soil is very porous. In many parts of the world you have sand as well-drained soils. Here it's volcanic glass.
We were ripping the whole soil and we were bringing these rocks up, and we brought one down here. It was an obsidian rock as big as a Volkswagen, believe me, it was. So we got GPS and we found out exactly where that vine row would go, and we ripped that vine row and didn't rip the in centers. And in that way we didn't pull up the obsidian. So the obsidian's still there, and it's very important to us because it's gravel and it makes well-drained soils, which is extremely important for growing Cabernet. I don't think we in Lake County are trying to grow Napa grapes. We're trying to grow something that's very different and very high quality.
I could smell all of this all the aromatic herbs and so forth that live on this slope. It had garrigue qualities that you encounter in the Rhone, but it was definitely about California. It was powerful, it was sweet smelling.
These other wineries are really producing some beautiful Cab Petit Syrah up here. And where years ago, I don't think growers or winemakers knew this.
We can bring out intensity and we can bring out ripeness, but we're still able to bring a nice balance to the wine.
Because it's relatively undiscovered at this point, I think the values that you get coming out of Lake County are tremendous.
Everyone who makes wine for the first year from high quality grapes up here goes, oh wow, these are big wines.
It's not a matter of value judgment, better or worse. It's just a matter of individuality, uniqueness.
Light is different at elevation than it is here. Just the quality of light is different. The pressure is different on those vines.
So we're about 1,400 feet above sea level, which is one of the highest grape growing regions in the state of California.
What ends up happening is that the grape itself is just trying to protect the seed. It's a biological reaction, and so it creates a sunscreen around its seed in reaction to the extra ultraviolet light here with the sun intensity. and so you get significantly thicker skins here. Small berries with a lot of intensity and a lot of the stuffing that makes red wine, particularly Cabernet, memorable.
Elevation does play a big part in how vines respond to their environment, and how vines respond to their environment translates into what fruit tastes like. Not only does it come from the soil and the slope of the hillside, but also the elevation and the big swings in temperature that you see from morning to mid-afternoon, and what that does to the ripening of the tannin, the retention of acidity in the grape. These are all things that are affected because of the altitude.
We just threw everything up in the air, and we're seeing how things land and learning from a decade of really high-quality farming to see what's possible.
In Lake County, we're to a great extent pioneering. We're pioneering in terms of farming grapes where they weren't farmed before.
First 10 years, find it, plant it, get the first vintage out. Next 10 years is fine-tuning it.
There's a lot of raw material there, a lot of potential, and as that potential becomes greater realized, it builds on itself.
I talk to my friends who are growing grapes and making wine in the Rhone, and they're beginning to hear about Lake County. So in terms of the global impact that Lake County's having, it may be small, but it's significant.
And again, I've never seen anything just like this. It's going to be different. I think it's going to be great and high quality, but it's going to be different.